Hello everybody, Richard the Urban Warlock here. Okay, it's another darker side of spirituality witchcraft special. I've only got a couple of this one and another one to do, unless anything else crops up. So today I'm going to be talking about a black magic, not the chocolate. I do enjoy those, No, black magic. Right, so again, as always, I've not done loads of research because black magic does not interest me. I am more defence against the dark arts, if you would like to call it that. If you are having problem with black magic, I've incorporated hex removal from towards my services. It's basically similar to counter curse, which is return to sender, etc. But it's got a little bit more spell work involved in it. Now, I have recently done with somebody remotely, and it appears to have worked. Okay, so I'm just reassessing price wise in regard to remote hex removal, because obviously, you know, it's remote, so it's gonna be a bit cheaper. Much like binding spells, I would send you photos of the ritual as I'm going through, just to kind of prove that I'm doing it, really. Right, anyway, so black magic. Black magic does exist. As always, I am a witch and a spiritualist, and I'm actually a witch and a spiritualist. No offense to other witches out there. Some of them do kind of get the concept, but they don't always get the full understanding of that. I am literally split down the two. Okay, you could call me a bridge if you like. Yeah, black magic does exist, and it is the power struggle between the light and the dark, really. Black magic is basically the manipulation of energy to do harm to people, or to do things to benefit you, such as extorting people for money. Yeah, it does exist. I've always been aware of this. However, it's only recently that I have actually become under attack with this. I have been psychically attacked a number of times. It's a different energy. It's a very different energy. Yeah. Now, the problem with black magic is that it can work for a period of time. And if you have a particularly strong practitioner or a collective or a coven working together to do black magic, they can get away with it for a long time. Now, I don't know loads about voodoo. The magic practice in voodoo is hoodoo. But one of the things that I know is that a lot of voodoo practitioners don't believe in kind of the threefold rule and karma. I could be wrong. Like I say, voodoo and hoodoo is extremely private practice. Okay, I don't really have an issue with voodoo or hoodoo as long as it's not being used for negative outcomes. So yeah, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that was my understanding of it. Side note, I get people calling me and going, "Oh, I think somebody's put a curse on me. I think such and such has been to a voodoo doctor and put something on me." Most of these voodoo doctor bullshit people aren't that at all. They're just trying to extort your money. The scammers. So don't worry about it. Yeah, so black magic is real. Now, the problem is that what tends to happen is, like I say, if this person or the collective don't get any kind of kickback and it just continues, generally speaking, what they are doing then is they are racking up karmic debt. So karmic debt, you have good karmic debt and you have bad karmic debt. As I've said in previous videos, with the exposure and expose that I'm doing at the moment in regard to the spiritual community and the reality of the situation, my karmic debt with Source has now been paid. Okay, I'm there. Okay, I don't really have to do anything. I could walk away now if I wanted to and have a perfectly happy life. I'm not going to because I'm a giant fucking pain in the arse. Yeah. So it racks up karmic debt. Now, at some point, what will happen is this personal collective will come across somebody who's too strong. And when I mean that, I mean on all levels. Physically, mentally, emotionally, psychically, spiritually. What that then does is activate karma from Source, and then the shit starts to hit the fan. Now, with dark or black magic, when it's hit and it's returned to sender, yeah, think of it this way. It's a bit like, I suppose, a bit like a shotgun. So with a shotgun, the case is filled with lots of little pellets. And this is why they're so damaging. So unlike it being one bullet that goes, or an arrow, it sprays. As it's fired, it sprays. Okay, and this is why shotguns are so fucking destructive, and I mean all weapons are not very nice. Yeah, and it sprays and it has an effect on people. Now I am going to be doing my last video for now, like I say, until something else triggers something, on death magic. That's going to be coming up within the next couple of days. But yeah, it has an effect. So just to give you a couple of examples, so things to be wary of, right? So if you're familiar with return to sender, or not familiar with return to sender, a return to sender spell, I class it as counter curse, but it is basically just a return to sender, although I have got some further spells at the moment that I use for mine. Think of it this way, right? Your neighbour is chucking their dog shit in your garden, okay? You could pretend it's not happening, but return to sender basically is scooping it up and chucking it back in their garden to them. Basically, it's their dog shit, they can fucking deal with it. As you're flinging it though, said dog shit sprays a little bit, so it can go on to other people who are close to them or might be involved. Now, things to watch out for if you are doing return to sender. Now, I know there's a few readers on here recently that have been coming up and they've said, you know, don't do return to sender, transmute it, blah, blah, blah. It builds up bad karma. For me, no, it doesn't. Doesn't. You know, each to our own, different belief systems and stuff like that. Yeah. So, for example, if you start having a lot of trouble, let's say with your car, and you do a return to sender, and then somebody you know or close to you starts having trouble with their car, it could be an indication that they're the one sending it. Likewise, if you start having blocks on your money or your work and you do a return to sender, and then they start getting blocks and issues with their work and their finances, again, it's a good sign. I would also suggest keeping an eye out if you're doing a return to sender yourself or with me. I would say don't do one if you don't know what you're doing. I was having a conversation with a client a while back and they were writing their own spells. And the problem is if the intention's not there or if you're not working with the right deities, it can just exacerbate things. So please don't. Yeah. Something that I noticed when I was doing return to sender, and I'll do return to sender even if I don't know who the person is, because I just feel this sticky energy, this dark energy on me. A lot of people in the community at the moment have been feeling like their third eye's been blocked, like their crown chakra has been blocked, feeling a little bit heady and just like that. So if you have been experiencing that and you are in the spiritual community, there is a good chance that somebody's been putting spell work on you and hexes and stuff like that. Yeah, so a while back, I felt some real dark energy on me, so I was just doing a general return to sender. Now, the funny thing was, I did it, and then 15 minutes later, said person started to repost some quite aggressive, witchy-based TikToks. So, oh, that's a bit odd. It's not very nice. So, a couple of days later, did it again. Started to post rather aggressive witchy-based post on Instagram. Thought, might be a running theme here. Did it again a couple of days later, and then posted something on Facebook. Not going to say what, because it was all part of a bigger plan to try and make me look like I'm a misogynist, which I'm certainly not. I am a feminist. I understand feminism both in the 3D and the 5D. You can test me on it if you like. If anybody has any issues with me, I would say come forward and ask me. If anybody thinks I lie, tell me what I've lied about. Anyway, I'm running out of time, unfortunately. So yeah, black magic is real, okay? Don't fear it. It's not very nice, okay? But, you know, it'll feed into it. But just be aware of it. If you do want any help, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to see what I can do for you. But yes, I'll leave it there and look out for final part for now, which is going to be based on the worst kind of magic for all, which is death magic. Stay tuned. Thumbs up, thumbs down.